Last week I finished up the drip line in this bed, and I started to do the same thing in the other bed, and then I thought to myself, you know, I'd really like to try something else. I'd like to try using PVC as my drip line. PVC is a really inexpensive solution, and I've got a neighbor down the street that does this, and I just remembered that, you know what, I think I'm gonna give that a try. So that's what this week's project is. I'm gonna finish up this bed using PVC, and I think it's gonna be flexible, and it's gonna be something that I can monitor and adjust. So let's get to it. Alright, first thing I got to do is get this T on here, and I've wiped out the inside here, and I've wiped the outside off here. You want to make sure that it's clean. And then I'm going to put some of this PVC glue. I want to go around the outside here and the inside here. And then it's best if you twist. It gets good coverage. And then shouldn't take long before that's permanent. Okay, I've got this ball valve that I want to put in line here. That way I can control the volume of water that goes into the bed. Okay, so I've gone ahead and attached this side. So now I just want to measure out where I want to make my first cut, because I want the valve to be right about there. So I'm going to cut right about there. And I've got these PVC cutters. They do a really nice clean cut. That should make a perfect fit. Okay, I want to do the same thing here. I've already got my angle in here, so I want to place it where it goes, and then I can figure out where I need to make my cut here. And I've just got this dry fit in right now, so that's where I need to make my cut. Okay, I've just got this dry fit in here right now, and I just want to check to see if it's going to work. And looks like it's going to be perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that up. Okay, using that same method, I've got my first two angles, and now it's just a straight shot all the way down the line. But I do need to make cuts about every 10 inches or so I can put my T's in, so I can have these lines coming off. So I'm going to take some measurements and figure out how long I need each section to make, and I'm going to make some cuts. Alright, I had 90 inches to work with, and I wanted to run 10 lines. So that means that I would be 9 inches on center. And since I had to compensate for each of the T's, I ended up cutting 8-inch sections. And that came out just right. So I needed 9 of those. So I've cut those. They're dry fitted right now, and everything lined up just fine. So I'm going to glue these up and then take it over to the bed and get her installed. Alright, I've got my trunk line all put together, and it looks like everything is in line. So I'm going to go take this to the bed and get it installed. Alright, this is going to be a little bit tricky. Alright, that wasn't too bad. Alright, so the thought here is that I've got each of these offshoots, and I'll be able to take these and just screw them into the trunk line. And I'm going to drill holes in each of these, and I'll drill them so that they correspond with the plants that they're going to be watering. And the nice thing about this is it's not permanent. If next season I have a different configuration, I can just pull these out and replace them with a different one, or just move them around where it's more appropriate. And for the lines that I'm not going to be using, I'll just simply plug them up with these plugs. And I'll probably, I think the way I figured it out, I'll have 2 of the lines, the available lines, plugged up. And I'll just be using 8 of the 10. So let me figure out and mark each of these pipes where I need to drill my drip line holes. Alright, I've got to cap this off somehow, and I thought that I had an end cap for this PVC, but I don't. So what I'm going to have to do is just put one of these screw caps on the end of it, and I'll be able to reuse it in another bed if I ever decide to use this technique in another bed. But for now, I need to go ahead and get this capped off. Okay, I'll wait a few minutes for that to dry, and then I'll go ahead and glue that in. Alright, so now what I need to do is go around and mark each of my drip line pipes where I want to drill a hole. So I'll just put a mark on each of the pipes. And then I'll take each of these out, and then I'll go drill them out. Okay, I've got my first 5 drilled and installed, and I just wanted to mention it's a good idea to label these so that you know which row that it goes back into. So I'm going to go ahead and drill these out and get these installed. Alright, got everything in. So I think I'm ready to go turn my sprinklers on. I think all the chances of overnight freeze are over. We're pretty much in the 40s and 50s now for the overnight low. So just to recap, I've got this valve, this ball valve here, which I can use to control the amount of water that flows through. I've got everything marked and drilled and capped and screwed in. I went ahead and put all 10 of my lines in. But if next year I have a different planting configuration, I can unscrew these lines and swap them around or completely replace them with a different drill configuration. So there we go. Let me go turn the sprinklers on and let's give this thing a test run. All right, let me get my key here. Okay, here's my cap. Looks like it got busted over the winter. Normally I need a hammer to get this off. But the nice thing about having this tight little pipe here is that it guides the key right down on top. And then all I have to do is open it up. All right, let's go turn that station on and see how it looks. Okay, it looks like the back drip is station 4. So I've got to set this to manual single station. Cycle through 4. And we'll run it for 3 minutes. Let's go check it out. Well, I can see it's got way too much water. Way too much water pressure. Let's go adjust that. Yeah, that's a lot better. Looks like I'm going to have to make a little bit of adjustment here to get these 3 watered properly. So this is the first one. And this is using PVC. I think I kind of like the PVC better. I might just swap that out. But anyway, that's what we're looking at. I gotta still make a couple of minor adjustments. So let me get to that. I got all of my plants being watered now. They've all got something shooting water towards them. And it's not blasting outside of the bed. Still got a tiny leak right there at that joint, but I'm not concerned about that because it's just a little bit of water. Looks like this bed is getting watered fine. So I think we're good. Looks like there's just not enough power to get to that last one, but I've got plenty right there watering that lettuce. So I'll set this up to water for a couple of minutes every 3 days and should be good.